Okay. Hello there, everybody. I'm here responding to the claim that technology has negatively affected society. The main claims for my opponent's claim was that, or secondary claim, sorry, was that as technology advances every day, more creations are made, which result in some people losing jobs. His second claim was that with advanced technology, people have become lazier as a result. And his third one was that certain pieces of technology have proved harmful to society. I hope to show you guys that some of these are not even supported by any evidence and that they kind of lack a lot of stuff. But it is my main claim that even though there are some negative side effects to technology, the benefits far outweigh the cost of them. So first off, my opponent's first claim was, as I said, as technology advances every day, more creations are made which result in job loss. He basically provided no evidence for this, no statistical data proving that X technology causes Y unemployment. The only thing that he stated was that we have an 8.5 unemployment rate. If you look on the Bureau of Labor Statistics website, they actually track employment every year and put it in graphs. They have 15 main areas that cover all of the employment in the USA. I looked through all the 15 graphs, and in fact, employment has been climbing for the past 10 or so years, up until recently in 2007, when every single area, all 15 areas, had a decline in them. So if there was some sort of technology that was creating unemployment, it would have been just in one or two areas, not all 15. So that claim is kind of barely supported and is countered with the evidence I just told you all. His second claim was that with the advanced technology, people have become lazier as a result. Once again, my opponent gave no statistical data. There was actually no statistical data that I found. But an article in PC Magazine published on March 12, 2002 by Jimmy Grufferman said that, in fact, we are not getting lazier, but the exact opposite. We are learning to multitask much more. We are doing much more in the same amount of time. And this actually makes sense if you guys just think about it. You guys, I don't know, go home, turn on your computer, okay, I'm going to check my email. Oh, hey, Bob and Jill are online, I'm going to talk to them. You're talking to them at the same time you're checking your email, and you think, oh, wait, I should probably research that speech I have to do today. So you're doing that, looking that up online. You're doing a good 4 or 5 things at once on your computer. Before there was computers, no one was doing that. They were just doing one thing, probably typing up their speech, doing ding on their typewriter. So we are doing much more nowadays. His third claim was the fact that certain pieces of technology have proved harmful to society. The two things that he cited were the atom bomb, which, yeah, was harmful, but we haven't used one for over 60 years. And his second piece of information was that viruses that hackers create steal people's information, and how that could be harmful. Well, yeah, that is true, but the two of the biggest internet security companies, Norton and McAfee, employ over 22,000 people worldwide. So even though they are hackers, and even though they are causing us, even though they are causing issues, there are jobs provided to help stop that. Also, there are other pieces of technology that are helping our society. The opponent limited the scope of all this to leisure and military tech, and so my examples are drawn from the military. We have things in the military called UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, which are able to be piloted from a command center far away from the battlefield. These crafts take our troops out of the battlefield, do not take them out of harm's way, and instead put a machine in their place, which can do things to take out tanks, they can do reconnaissance missions, they can do all sorts of things. And like I said, most importantly, they take our troops out of harm's way. Not only that, we also have ROVs, which are robotically operated vehicles that can defuse bombs. I don't know about you, but I much would rather have a robot defuse a bomb than me. So, so I hope that everyone has seen that while there are some harmful side effects to technology, the costs are, the benefits of technology are worth much more. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great day. Thank you.
Don't hurt yourself, man. That sounded a little little harsh. All right, Kyle, the claims are very clearly labeled, so you're doing fine there. You've got an explanation of what your general response is going to be and a counterclaim, which is okay. You kind of set that up as your goal and objective throughout the speech. Signposting on the first point, the lack of evidence from the advocate, that's okay. I thought the best thing that you did on that point, though, was presenting your own evidence on that point that showed how employment had been climbing and that the decline is primarily not due to technology but to other issues. Otherwise, they would not have declined altogether in this particular circumstance. So it does undermine the advocate's point pretty substantially. I thought you had a good internal signpost on that point, too, before you went to the second point, kind of explaining why those arguments were important to the position that you were taking. Again, it's very clear the transition you're making to the second point. The claim about multitasking is largely asserted, so basically you've got the advocate's assertions versus your assertions, and we've got hypothetical examples. It's okay, but again, this is one of those places where if there was some data or evidence that you can contrast the evidence that you presented to the absence of evidence presented by the advocate, your position would be a lot more compelling. On the third point, you do basically the same thing. You've got competing examples on points. I think you might want to attack directly the advocate's points on a couple of issues. I'm not sure why you're granting that the atom bomb is automatically a bad thing. A lot of people argue that dropping the bomb was a substantial lifesaver at the end of World War II, and there's even been arguments that the development of atomic weapons has prevented mass warfare on a level seen in World War I and World War II. So, I mean, you just kind of grant him the one area of significance there without challenging it. I did like the alternatives that you created as explanations, and again, all of it becomes, you know, he's got his hasty generalizations versus your hasty generalizations with different examples, and I think that's a little bit problematic on that last point. All right, let's see here. I think we've got time to get in at least one more speech tonight. Is there somebody who's dying to take care of it this evening as opposed to waiting? If not, we'll just go with whoever's next in the queue. Nobody's jumping up and saying, me. All right, Stephen, we'll have you finish out the evening for us.
I need the outline.